Y'all, I'm very excited. This is the last set of videos I have to create for the A&P series. I am ecstatic. And interestingly enough, it's about lipid transport, which, well, hopefully maybe that's not suggesting that I'm going to be lazy and gain some weight. With that, though, we have some fats we got to move around. Problem is, though, your blood is really hydrophilic. Your fat, well, not so much. It's hydrophobic. Remember, phobic means afraid. So if you have arachnophobia, you're afraid of spiders. So how do we fix that? Well, we do that via lipoproteins. Lipoproteins are, here's some examples: APOE, APOC2, APOB100 are quite hydrophilic on the outside, but hydrophobic on the inside to help accommodate and bunch together these different types of lipids and all their wonderfulness. aka cholesterol, phospholipids, triglycerides, and cholesterol ester, all of which are mainly stored within. Cholesterol, a couple of quick points to point out really quick points to point. I love it. To point out, cholesterol hardens. It is the way to help stiffen up a membrane. If you have a cholesterol molecule, it makes the membrane a little bit sturdier compared to just a membrane that lacks cholesterol. So it has a decent purpose to it, but obviously we in our modern day society, when we are eating way too much fats, cholesterol is not our friend. Now, how are they stored and how are they moved? Chylomicrons should sound familiar to you from our discussion earlier about the digestive system and how things are absorbed. Chylomicrons are the transport of dietary lipids to your adipose tissues. Remember that the chylomicrons don't go directly into the blood at first, they go into the lymphatic tissues, the thoracic duct, and get transported there. And they go and if they wind up in the adipose tissue, they get converted and stored there. Maybe they're even moved to a different place. Very low density lipoproteins, that's the transport of triglycerides from the hepatocytes to adipocytes, meaning that if a chylomicron or an LDL or something is brought to it and it's decided, hey, we just need to store it away, we might need this for another day, it's going to send it as a VLDL. VLDL means very low density lipoprotein. Lipoprotein, by the way, I should point this out, this APOE, APOC2-2, and APOB100 are lipoproteins. And when it says low density lipoproteins, it's talking about how sparse or how dense these proteins are packed together. As well as there's some other proteins that might be mixed in, but we're not going to talk about that. That's a topic for another day. But if it's very low density lipoproteins, it means you have a lot of fats floating around in here and very little proteins attached to it. So you're going to be moving it in that way. A low density lipoprotein is actually more along the lines of what let me rephrase that. Low density lipoproteins is the one that you're going to be moving to your cells. The cells are going to grow. There are places that need new cell tissue, your skin, your blood. Anything that grows will need some type of new lipid membrane. So low density lipoproteins are there to help out. We got to move those cholesterol, we got to move those fatty acids, the triglycerides to that place, those phospholipids, so you can make those membranes. You can make those things that you need. Unfortunately for us, because we're consuming so much fats, we make a high concentration of LDLs, or we eat so much that all those the most abundant of them all in our blood is the LDLs. The thing that works against low density lipoproteins that doctors right now are referring to as good fats is the high density lipoproteins. All that means is that you have there's some variations in the lipoproteins that we talked about, as well as it compared to the levels of fats. And this is the stuff that's going to be moved to your liver so you can eliminate it, so you can get rid of it. Remember that you ditch these excess fats and waste fats into the bile so it can be excreted out, be your digestive tract. Fats can be broken down, built up. Hopefully you remember from our first discussion, this forced general metabolism discussion, catabolism means to break down, anabolism means to build up. If you're breaking down fats, you got lipolysis, which means to break down fats, and to build fats, you can do lipogenesis. Genesis means to create, so you're creating fat. Finally, our last topic is nutrition. We got some minerals and vitamins we need to discuss about. Minerals are like the inorganic elements like sodium chloride, manganese. I love manganese. It's so much fun to say. Calcium. I don't know if I said potassium yet, but I'm going to say it again. Potassium, things like that. Vitamins are the things that you derive or create or make, either you or your body or your bugs that are living in your guts, your microbiome living in your guts. Again, all of these play a role in the structure of your protein, or it might have a role in the ion balance that is absolutely necessary for cellular signaling. Copper, cobalt, zinc, fluoride, all of those have some type of role with protein and protein formation or the formation of vitamin B12. But let's move into vitamins. Vitamins, we're going to only focus on just a few of them. You do need to know which ones are fat soluble versus liquid or water soluble. Fat soluble are the ones that you cook up on a deck, ADEK. So when you're about to go grilling, you have your grill up on your deck. You're going to be where are you going to grill those good, delicious fats? I just toted avoiding LDLs, but here I am talking about going for a grill. You're going to cook them up on a deck, ADEK. The ones that are water soluble, let's point out forgive me, I forgot to mention what these things do. Vitamin A is literally another way of saying beta carotene. It's right before you make beta carotene. You store it in the liver, it's good for you, it's wonderful for you, it helps with antioxidants, it clears out those bad oxygens that can do bad things to you, but it can also help in the formation as well as maintaining your vision at night. Vitamin D hopefully is familiar from AMP1 and AMP2. Vitamin D is the one that helps absorb calcium from your guts. That way it can also eventually push that calcium into your bones. Vitamin E, what vitamin E does, like vitamin A, it defends against those free radicals, the things that like to cause damage to DNA and destroy things and give you cancer possibly. Is there to help develop that DNA, RNA, those red blood cells as well in a way that is not, DNA, RNA, and red blood cells, it also helps out with the formation of appropriate fatty acids to make the cell membranes in an appropriate way. Vitamin K is for blood clotting. I'm just going to say that that's going to be the nice and easy thing. It is absolutely necessary for a lot of clotting factors to be made by the liver. It also helps with the formation of prothrombin. Okay, water soluble, you got the B vitamins, the niacin. Niacin is a type of B vitamin. You got vitamin C as well as these other ones, folic acid, biotin, pantothenic acid as well. Vitamin B1 has a lot to do with the, Vitamin B1, aka thiamine, helps down in the process of breaking down carbohydrates and using them into pyruvic, which can eventually make it into CO2 and H2O. Vitamin B2 is an important portion of the FAD. Those of you that are thinking or remembering this, FADH is the one that helps with a transport of certain types of energies. Niacin is helpful for the production and creation of a variety of things, and this one thing in particular is NADP, which hopefully was a reminder of those reminiscent of the general metabolism, which is the creation or delivery of that hydrogen ion to the electron transport chain. Vitamin B6, y'all, vitamin B6 is a nice thing to have. It helps you with amino acid metabolism, creating your non-essential amino acids, which are very nice to have. Vitamin B12 is there to help with DNA formation as well. It's very important for the formation of a variety of amino acids or insertion of amino acids into the Krebs cycle, as well as the production of red blood cells. In fact, if you have issues with or deficiencies in vitamin B12, you can develop a pernicious anemia. Other ones include, I'm going to go ahead and just point out a couple of these because I'm realizing y'all can read just fine. Folic acid, you need it for neural tube development. Doctors will recommend that women that are planning to be pregnant or are pregnant to take folic acid or folate because it helps with the neural tube development. If you infants that are lacking folic acid have a issue with that development and that neural tube and can be spontaneously aborted or can just have irregular developments. Vitamin C again is an antioxidant. It takes out those free radicals that can damage DNA. You get it from a variety of places, but primarily what vitamin C does is the formation of a variety of proteins that if you are lacking, you can get scurvy, you can get anemias and all that wonderfulness. With that, that is the end of our discussion about metabolism. Thank you very much for your time and good luck.